Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel, Life with Lissette. I'm going to make this video as short as I possibly can, but I want to talk about a subject that is growing and it is impacting a lot of people. But before I get into that, I have a couple of things. Number one, I have a cough drop in my mouth because your girl had a coughing attack, and yeah, I need a cough drop in my mouth. So it's right here, letting you know. Number two is, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. If you are returning as a subscriber or as a frequent watcher, welcome back. Thank you for being here. And as a plug, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you like this content. Today, we're going to talk about something that is impacting a lot of people. I'm not going to lie, it's real. And we can agree and we can disagree. But the hard fact is that a lot of people are losing their jobs. This is not political. I'm not going to get political on my page, or on my channel. It is the reality. It is the reality of what's happening. And as someone that was laid off at 48 years old and didn't know what the heck to do, in a whole different world, in a whole different climate, I know what I felt. And I'm here to share with you a little bit of hope, a little bit of inspiration, and how I was able to help myself, and a few things that I did to get me out of it. But before we get into kind of the solution or the how to fix, I want to recognize and I want to use this moment to say, if you are someone that has lost your job, if you are someone that is battling depression and anger and grief, and you're in the thick of it because it happened recently, I want you to know that it will be okay. You will get through this. As someone that has been there, I recognize it, I know it, and I suffered badly. I did a video, a full long form video on this back in November. I will link it in the description box for you below so you can see kind of the day that it happened and then what happened within the year of that. And I go into a lot of detail, but I'm not going to do that right here. I want to just provide a little bit of hope to you. And I'm speaking to you if you or your loved one, or if you know of someone that has lost their job, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. If you are on the receiving end of it, my advice to you is let yourself grieve. Let yourself mourn the process of losing your job. Let yourself go through that, because if you try to suppress it and if you try to submerge it, it will come back up, and it will come back up at the wrong time, at the wrong place, with the wrong people. Trust me, I know. I was depressed. I was severely depressed. I became an alcoholic. I completely lost myself. And if it wasn't through the intervention of my family, I don't know where I would be. I'm going to be very honest with you. But I had a really dark moment. And in that dark moment, I had to kind of just release all of my feelings. And once I came out on the other side of that, it was game on. I didn't know what to do when I sat across from that desk, that table that day, and I was told that my position was being outsourced. And you may hear this in different forms. You may hear this in, there's a reorg and your position, it has been eliminated, or your position has been outsourced, or you've been terminated. It's just a business decision for headcount, right? It could be any number of those, but it leaves you feeling the same way. You walk away feeling the same way. You feel lost, you feel angry, confused, and scared. That, oh my gosh, what just happened? No one is exempt from that. You will cry. You will grieve your coworkers. You will grieve your routine. You will grieve your ride to work. You will grieve everything about that job. And that is normal. That is 100% normal. But I'm here to share with you, as someone that has been there and suffered for about a year in that process, in that dark hole, that what happens to you on the other side of this, that is the only thing you can control. Because you can't control companies and organizations and employers. You can't control what they're going to do. The only thing you can control is how you receive it, how you digest that information, and then what do you do next. Now, am I saying immediately after you lose that job that you should start looking for another one? Everyone's situation and circumstances are different and unique, and I will never disrespect anyone by saying you have to immediately look for a job, and or you should take the time off that you need. I will suggest that whatever financial resources are available to you, whether that be through severance, through collecting unemployment, right? Whatever it is, you champion that and you go for that. But at the surface of it immediately happening, I encourage you to grieve. I encourage you to let your emotions come to the surface and you go through that process of mourning, because it is a mourning. It is a grief. You are grieving. And while some of you that probably have not experienced this may not relate, and that's okay, I'm speaking to those that are impacted. I'm speaking to those that have found themselves on the other side of that table, hearing those words. I was listening to a podcast last night, and that's what prompted me to do this video, because it is something that's happening around us today. It's scary. It's scary. It's unsettling. It's happening fast. But here's what I will say about my experience. I did take some little notes, by the way. Here was my experience. You believe in who you want to believe in. I believe in God. And God gave me so many signs to get out of that position, to get out of that department, and I failed to listen. And they were pretty seamless opportunities that I could have taken advantage of, stayed with the company, and just transitioned over into another department. But because I was comfortable, because I was complacent, and because I was cocky, yes, I'm willing to admit that, I chose not to listen. And so God said, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to go hard. And it was on that day, September the 12th, that I was told that my last day was going to be in December of that year, back in 2018. And I am triggered by it. Every time those dates come around, I am a little bit triggered. It's a clear sign of PTSD, or a very small form of it. It was a traumatic event for me personally. And yes, I will admit that. And it took me a year to really sit with those feelings and process them and deal with everything that I was dealing with at the time for myself. When I had that awakening, I felt this relief. I felt this lightness about me. And it was on that day in October, when I made the commitment to myself to become the best version of me. And I worked so doggone hard on that. And that's what this will do. Sometimes losing your job is the best thing that could happen to you, because it's your opportunity to get off of that hamster wheel. It's your opportunity to get out of that rat race. It's your opportunity to take the time that you need to become the best version of you, whatever that is. Especially if you come from the generation that you're working since you were 14 and 15 years old and you have not stopped working. You know, you've never given yourself that space, that brain space, or the time to really figure out even who you are or what you want to do. We evolve, we change, right? But losing your job allows you that moment of pivot. I am living proof of that, because it's funny how life comes full circle. I had a few odd jobs in between, and almost 2.5 years later, I was offered a position. I interviewed, but I was offered a position in a completely different department back at that same company. And I could not be happier. But I curated and I manifested and I claimed and I prayed. I prayed so hard with intention of the life that I wanted. It took a long time. And not everyone has the luxury and the blessings that I had. And I respect that. And I would not even assume that that's everyone's scenario. But I want to be a source of inspiration and hope, that if you find yourself on the other end of that desk, hearing those same words, I want you to know that what is for you will not pass you. I learned very quickly that losing that job did not happen to me, it happened for me. Because if I was still in that old role, there's no way that I would be able to be as happy and as stress free as I am today. There is just no way that I would be able to do that. But I am here as living proof of what is possible. My situation is not the same as yours, and I respect that. But know that what is for you will not pass you. And so I hope that this has helped you. I hope that these words have resonated with you and that they have given you permission for space and time, and give yourself grace to mourn and grieve the process. Because there's so much more to you. There's so much greatness that's going to come out of it. I just need you to believe that. I need you to hold on to that. And I need you to strive for that. That is all that I have for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And until the next one, adios.